Northern Static Series.
Northern Static Series
On CFUR 88.7 FM.
Hello, my name is Britt Meierhofer. Thank you for tuning in to the Northern Static Series on CFUR 88.7 FM. You can find us online at cfur.ca. We are broadcasting from the traditional unceded territory of the Lheidli First Nation. This initiative is made possible by the Community Radio Fund of Canada. Our special guest today hails from Fort St. John on Treaty 8 territory. A storyteller and lover of sad songs, she delivers performances that are at once contemplative and clever. Through her long-standing presence in our regional music scene as a solo artist, as well as one half of former folk duo Twin Peaks, crafting music has become more than her trade. It is a way to process life, a way to send a searching hand out through the mists of a melody and connect with the world. Naomi Shore, welcome to the Northern Static Series.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, thank you for being here.
Little bio is so epic. A yoga teacher, poet friend of mine wrote it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost too beautiful.
I think it's very, very apt. She describes you and your music very, very correctly.
Yeah.
Well,
there's nothing worse
humble
than trying to write yourself a bio.
Yes.
Being like, Naomi's great. Let me tell you why.
So thinking about your career, can you take us back to the beginning? Like what first drew you into music? What were some early influences that shaped your sound?
Yeah. Well, I was a child of music lessons, like classical piano training, as it were. But it didn't really occur to me to sing until, I didn't really sing in public until I was 20, probably. And I played piano for a long time before I ever thought about singing. And then when I had an inkling, I should sing, I was like, I'm going to go to Canadian Idol. I've never sung in front of anyone. I'll go to Canadian Idol. This is the perfectionist, win and lose, black and white. I'll go to Canadian Idol. I'll sing for them. If they say I can sing, I can sing. If they say I can't, never going to do it. So I turned 16, went to Calgary, then saw the reality of you're in a janitor's closet auditioning with 10 people. This guy was in a big bird costume and he kept getting through, and then I'm left behind. And then my aunt took me and I was like, if you ever speak a word of this to anyone, I'll kill you. I was just devastated. And she's like, hey, but you've never... I sang Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille.
Wow, okay, yeah.
It was probably awful. But... So that was when I was 16. And then when I became legal drinking age, I started going to the open mic at Egan's Pub, which is no longer. But it was, And then I went and sat in the back for 3 months and was like, I'm going to watch and listen to everyone. And if I think I'm better than 70% of the people there, I'll get up. And then by the time I did, I was so nervous, got so drunk, played a Lady Gaga cover. I got a lot of compliments, but... I'm so glad there's no footage of that.
I feel like it's almost a rite of passage for a lot of people to get really drunk and kind of learn the hard way that that's not the greatest space to.
And I think in the moment I felt really good about my choices.
Yeah.
I was like, poker face.
Bit of a shame over the next day.
Yeah. So then that's how I met Lindsay Pratt, who we both grew up in Fort St. John. She's from Taylor, but we grew up together. She's a couple years older than me, so we went to school together, but not really. We ran in separate circles, and she was queen of the open mic. I was like, well, everybody plays with her. Everybody knows her songs. She doesn't even have to play an instrument. She just sings. Yeah. And all these cool bluegrassers back her up. And so we were frenemies in the scene, I guess. I don't know. We didn't really know each other. And then she ended up getting up and singing harmony with me at a different venue in Fort St. John, and then the blend was so good, and then everybody was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Then I invited her to come play my cousin's wedding with me, and we cried and shared a Kleenex through the wedding ceremony while we were trapped on stage behind. Anyways, so and I'd never written songs. I mean, I'd been writing, poetry and journaling my feelings pretty dramatically for a long time.
Right.
And then Lindsay was such an epic songwriter. Even when we started Twin Peaks, we were in our early 20s. I think I was 22 or 23. And she had this back catalog of hits. And so then I was like, well, I can play piano and sing harmonies, and I'll do the booking and whatever. And then I think throughout Twin Peaks 7 years together, I started writing more and more. But they weren't Twin Peaks songs. It was definitely like sad girl folk songs. And
Yeah. Did you find that you were each kind of bringing your own separate songs to the table, or was there a lot of co-writing?
there was like a lot of, I feel like in the beginning, I was like, well, maybe I could help arrange this song of yours because maybe we need a solo here or a bridge or blah, blah, blah. So then that kind of was a thing. And then, yeah, we started co-writing together probably halfway through. And then I don't know if I brought anything by myself because it seemed like anything I wrote by myself was just
for your eyes only.
And it just wasn't the the vibe.
Fair, yeah. But being in collaborative projects like that, like you've been in Twin Peaks, and I'm sure you've collaborated with other artists throughout the years, how do those shape your experiences as far as your approach to music today?
I mean, I think that like kind of perfectionist competitive drive is helpful, you know, like when Noah Walker's going to play guitar with me, I better know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think like surrounding yourself with people that you admire, people that you feel are better than you or farther along or, you know, like
Yeah.
I think I thrive in the underdog
Well, that's
scene.
I think that's a pretty common piece of advice from like veteran musicians to people who are just starting out even is play with people who are better than you and you'll get better.
Yeah.
Really
and I think I've
with no
gotten
other.
like more comfortable with like, what is it that I'm selling? What are the parts that I really feel confident about? I'm not a guitar player. You're not coming to my show for shredding solos. I'm going to sing really nice. So let's just focus on that. So like being real with like, yes, I want to be good at playing guitar. I broke my ankle a couple years ago and that was the best thing for my guitar playing because I just sat down for 3 months and had nothing else to do. But yeah, I think surrounding yourself with people that are better than you or whatever. And I mean, songwriting, most of the co-writing I've done is with children, with students, with youth.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about some of the recent releases that you've put out. A topic of focus is mental health, and you're quite vulnerable with your writing. Do you find that your audience connects with that? Like, do you hear back from your audience about what you write?
Oh, yeah. Which I think is also what's led to some serious overwhelm and burnout. But worth it. I think the more vulnerable my songwriting has become, like now I'm working on my third solo record, so each album has become a little more real and less reading between the lines.
Yeah.
The more people connect with it, the better I feel, but also the scarier it is. Like these newer songs are the scariest ones I've ever played. Like, and it's not like, because I do feel upfront and I want to be relatable and I know I'm not alone in my struggles. So it's not like oversharing. It's not the fear of oversharing. It's just like, part of me is like, when is it going to be too much? Am I trauma dumping? But then after a show, it's a mutual trauma dumping.
Yeah.
They come to the merch table and they're like, I was raised a Mennonite and whether it's like religious trauma or ADHD or whatever.
Yeah, and I think those are issues or like things that people can really feel alone in their experience. And I think it's really great that you're bringing that to the stage and to audiences to show them that that's not trauma dumping. It's like you're in alignment with the people who also go through these things. And I think that's really important.
Thanks, friend. That's nice of you to say.
Yeah. So speaking of your recordings, last year you spent time with Corwin Fox at Hidden Well in Cumberland, BC, which is a beautiful spot. What topics or themes can we expect from these new tracks?
This third album is very heavily focused on the religious trauma work that I've been doing. And it's that thing of like you write a song and you don't necessarily even know what it's about until you have to type out the lyrics or you hear it recorded and you're like, oh, that's what I should have listened to me myself. Like, so I think every time I've made a record, I have that experience. The first one, Piece by Piece, was like, oh, this is codependency. I left a 9-year relationship. Twin Peaks went our separate ways. Like, it was like finding myself piece by piece. And then the next one, Stability, was like COVID times, mental health. I'm stable now. Just jokes. And so I thought like the trajectory, and not that it's down. I think we're just at like a little, woo. So we're going to call this one Times Like These.
Love it.
Because we're not really
Yeah.
it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of religious trauma, and that like I wouldn't give my therapist any writing credit because I'm poor and I already pay him lots of money.
Yeah.
But
He's earned
he
his keep.
really,
Yeah.
like having this great therapist for 2 years while writing this album and like processing all of it through therapy, but then also being able to kind of close the loop on it by writing a song, recording it, then playing it for people and being like, maybe this is the one time that nobody gets me. Nope,
Yeah.
they're all crying and
Yeah.
we're
That's
all
validating to
screwed.
be in
No,
the
just
studio. Well, it is validating to be, working with people who you respect and whose music you really appreciate, whose collaboration you really appreciate. To have their positive feedback in the studio, I'm sure, is a good platform to leap from.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Corwin,
Yeah.
this one, there was one song that I wrote. We've changed the title so many times, I don't know what it's called now. But it was written after, like I started writing it after a particularly intense therapy session where we were like thinking back to like my childhood, going to Sunday school and being told that somebody died for you and you better pay him back. And just how like my issues of self-worth as a 37-year-old woman are completely out of my control in some aspects, that was like tattooed on my nervous system as a kid who believed grown-ups. So we had this really intense therapy session thinking about that little me and just being sad for her and whatever. So then I started writing this song and then I sent the little voice memo to Michael, my therapist, and he's like, oh my God, like she helped write that with you. She's right there. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm in the studio recording it like a year later with Corwin Fox. And he's like, we've done 3 takes of the vocals and it's perfect.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, this song's heavy. There's a lot in there. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe perfect isn't the goal. And I'm like, speak for yourself. So then he's like, do you have a picture of yourself
boy.
from like church time?
Yeah.
So I pulled up a picture of myself on my phone in a like church dress with my like, 80s big bangs and doily neckline.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I put her on the music stand and then like sang it to her. And I was like, I'm only going to be able to do this twice. Like,
Yeah, that's
and
really
then in
raw.
between takes, I
Yeah.
had to lay down on the floor and like, Corwin's like, do you want me to come in there or no? I was like, no, can you turn the mics off, please? And then I
Yeah.
like laid on the floor and screamed and cried. And then
Yeah. Yeah.
having someone like Corwin,
Safe person, safe
who
space.
is like-
Yeah. Yeah.
not just like, of course I logically I know
Yeah.
I know him, I know he's safe, I know but that he's gonna put me in that position and take me there, and he knows it's fine and I know it's fine and it's gonna be worth it. And then sure
Yeah.
enough, the takes, you can hear the difference.
Yeah. It's amazing, hey?
And it, there's those parts that are like, this is very dramatic and self-indulgent, but I deserve it. But that same but we have to close it. We have to.
Absolutely. And I think self-indulgent is one thing, but that's not what you're doing here, right? Because that's the whole point of songwriting, is bringing your perspective and your lived experience to the table. So, yeah. I think to do that so wholly and from such a deep, deep space is really, bravo. That's
Thanks.
brave.
Thanks to
as
me.
hell.
Thanks to Corwin.
Yeah.
Corwin seeing not just what we needed for an audio experience and as an engineer, but what I needed,
Yeah.
what she needed, just and I'm sure lots of people in a studio setting would be like, you want me to what? It would be way too much. But I love too much.
I am so excited to hear these tracks.
They're devastating.
I can't wait to curl up in a ball and cry.
I actually had a dream last night that I was doing an album release and my parents were both there. And in my nightmare, they were just like, how dare you? Oh. Which isn't going to happen. They both really like me and they feel bad about these songs and how they're coming out. They're like, oh no. But I'm like, it's not about you guys.
It's not about them.
Yeah.
So you've spent a lot of time touring, flipping to the stage now. You've spent a ton of time touring both as a solo act and as a as with Twin Peaks as well. You also sometimes take your solo act on tour with other acts. Can you describe how touring alone feels versus touring with someone else? Like, what are some striking
Unwell.
differences? Yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah.
No, yes, I've spent an unhealthy amount of time touring, but I'm a very good driver because of it. Very confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The first solo tour that I went on would have been 2019 when I put out Piece by Piece. And I'd only spent, it was probably the longest I'd spent not on tour with Twin Peaks or not on the road at all. It was like
Right.
maybe 6 months that I wasn't on tour.
Yeah.
So I was really itching. And like, because we'd been so enmeshed and, you know,
Yeah.
we sit together in the van. We shared beds every night because
Totally.
we were just trying to be easy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like very excited to go out by myself. And like the upside was like, oh, there's nobody to like before bed. Like, okay, what time are we leaving? And like I can just do all that in my mind alone.
Totally.
And if I want to
Yeah.
stop and go for a swim, if I want to go to the thrift store, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so that was cool. And like
Yeah.
listening to what I want. And
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time not listening to anything. Just like driving in silence. And that was good. And then I'd booked, I think I just did like a month maybe of like tried and true venues, house concerts that
Yeah.
Lindsay and I had played
Yeah.
over and over. Because I was like, I'm not going to throw myself
Yeah.
to the wolves.
Yeah.
And it was like exciting and also scary because I'd never sung by myself.
Right.
Lindsay and I were very much known for our sense of humor and our banter. And I'm like, am I even funny alone? Who am I going to talk to? Like,
Yeah.
and it was fine. It was great.
Yeah.
And so many people who had seen Twin Peaks and know Lindsay and I both were so supportive and were like, oh my God, Naomi, like, where'd this come from? I was like,
Nice.
oh, well, I guess.
This old thing?
Yeah. So that was cool. And then I booked I was booking this whole, cross Canada epic tour for 2020, and
Yeah.
and then that got
I'm a
that
part
got
of that
destroyed,
club.
and now I
Yeah.
have PTSD about booking
Yeah.
shows.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's
that one
fine.
got a lot of us, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
tale as old as COVID. Everybody feels the same. We all have the same experience to some extent.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh man, I put 8 months and all of my
Yeah,
contacts
yeah.
and all into this like epic. I'm only going to play my favorite towns with the best rooms and the nicest house concerts.
Yeah.
And then it just starts like falling apart. And then since then, I'm like, if I book anything, it's like 2 weeks out.
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
yeah.
well, can't get attached to these plans or ideas because the world could end at any time. Which
Totally.
Is not
Well, and it
normal.
is, I think that is sort of a form of trauma that's followed a lot of people because there was so much flip flopping as far as like.
And I think so many of
yeah.
us were on this hamster wheel of like,
Yeah.
you're on tour. And with
Yeah,
Twin Peaks,
yeah.
like we were on tour for 7 years. The most we spent at home was maybe 3 months at
Yeah.
a time. And like,
Yeah.
while we were on tour, I was booking the next tour. Like I was always living 8 to 10 months in the future.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
then being forced literally to stop it and just
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah.
Like I didn't sing, I didn't play an instrument for a year. Like 2020, I was like, no, that's gone now. I'm a macrame artist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Totally.
This is who I am now.
I make sourdough.
I'm going to master pie crust. That
Yeah.
was my,
Yeah.
I made a lot of quiche. My
Yeah.
family doesn't ever want to have quiche again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you think back to that first tour, how has your approach to touring changed since then?
I mean, I think even through Twin Peaks, like we toured more and more and more towards the end.
Yeah.
But the standard changed and we don't have to play 7 days a week. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But that it is such a grind. And still now, maybe even worse now, like you can't make any money. So like you
Yeah.
have to play a show every night to make money. You have to sell merch. Well, you can't sell music and you can't, I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to get dark quick. But yeah, I think that my checklists have changed and like, okay, if I'm here for money, it's not enough money. If I'm here for exposure,
Yeah.
that's not real. If
Yeah.
I'm here for friendship, I hate these people I'm touring with. If I'm here, like
Yeah.
it's not that it has to check a box. It has to check all the boxes or I
Yeah.
can't do it. And I can't like put myself in those situations and
Yeah.
coming to grips with like, okay, I can't tour alone right now because it's fine when the shows are good. But as soon as there's one bad show,
Yeah.
whatever that means, someone looked at their phone and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, they hate me. Like I just feel so fragile and not.
Yeah.
And then like there's nobody there to be like, that sucked, right?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I'm just alone being like, every decision I've made led me to this.
It sounds like you've really developed a strong sense of self-preservation since your first tour. Like, it sounds like you're really considering what you need and what you will need into the future. So bravo and kudos to that, because I think that can be a real hard place to get to.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I fear that I've self-preserved too close to the sun, and now it's very hard to leave the house and play music. And just like, now I'm like, oh God, like I've hermited.
In this economy, staying home's the cheapest way to go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to your sort of approach to songwriting now. So I know that, like, as a lot of artists must, you have sort of an adjacent day job that you do.
Yes.
You operate a teaching studio and production company in Fort St. John. Can you tell us how this experience has informed your own creative process? You've talked about, writing with the kids that you teach. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I had started with piano lessons because I had a sister that's 8 years younger than me. So it started when I was like 16. I wanted to make money, and my own piano teacher was like, you could teach kids piano. It's easy. So she kind of walked me through it, and then, I started playing ukulele. So then I taught ukulele. Then I started singing. So, I'd never taken a vocal lesson per se, but teaching singing. So now I teach like beginner guitar, ukulele, vocals,
Amazing.
piano, and I insist that almost all of my students write songs. It's like a great confidence builder. It's like cool to just like immediately drop the veil of like, actually songs are easy and anybody can do it. And I'm saying that to them, but also to myself. And that it's been like, I think the most valuable thing I've gotten for my own writing is that kids, whether they're like 4 years old or 16 years old, they're usually very sure of their creative expression until someone second guesses it. So not only is it like an exercise for me to be like, well, that doesn't really rhyme, like to keep my opinions to myself, because they know how it's their song. They know how it goes. I don't know how it goes.
Yep.
And I was lucky enough to do a couple kids youth songwriting workshops with Corwin Fox, who, he did 14 or 17 years in a row of songwriting at Artswells.
Yeah, totally.
So he's written like 700 plus songs with kids.
Yeah.
So seeing his method of like, okay, day one, you get them to write a group song so they're on the same team, and then whatever. So then, last summer was the first time I did some camps, day camps. Yeah. And then that was fun because like I'm an ADHD, crafty, creative. I'm like, let's make bracelets with all this embroidery thread I have. Yeah. Let's make album artwork for that song you wrote. So then it's like, I called them creative camps.
Yeah, I love that.
And then like the one we made muffins in the morning to have in the afternoon. And we're just going to make stuff and do stuff. Yeah. And really that's how I want to spend my summers, making muffins and bracelets. And if I could get them to weed my garden, I guess it would be a...
Weeding 101.
That's explained. But yeah, it's the kids, like they just know, they really trust their expression, how it comes out. They don't overthink it. They're like, no, it rhymes with it. Yeah. It. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, oh no, I said the word stay twice in this song. I better get the thesaurus out. Like, just overthinking it. Yeah. And when I started teaching vocals, I had to like, okay, how do I make that sound? I've become a better singer year over year. I can hear it in recordings. How did I do it? Yeah. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Like... And then being able to like create a curriculum, or like an approach, and trying not to, be too self-deprecating to like parents and I barely know what I'm doing. You can pay me if you want. Like I could tell you some things, and then being able to see it work and people get things out of it, and
very fulfilling, I imagine.
And I'm just like very much trying to be, I had some great piano teachers, but I'm really trying to be the adult that I wish I had, And just like, I played music as a teen, I played piano, and it was an outlet for sure. And when I was overwhelmed or sad or stressed about school, like I could go play classical piano, and it was kind of meditative to read music and like let some stuff out. And then I'd be writing sad poems. Yeah. But being able to like, some of my students that have been going through like being a youth right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being able to like provide a space for them that is, trauma informed just from my own lived experience. And that I could get a psychology degree and become a music therapist, but I like that this is just regular old kids, regular kid problems, you know?
Yeah. And just giving them space to find their voice, I think, is really, really, that's a powerful
I had a kid write
thing.
a song at her bully,
Yeah.
and she's definitely neurodivergent and on that spectrum. And she's like, I got suspended from school because I said something to him and I was just joking. But obviously it was, he was a little scared. And I think she was 12 at the time. And then I was like, I think we should write a song at him.
Yeah.
That you can even just kind of sing in your head when you see him in the hallway, just to be
Yeah.
And the opening line is, "What's your problem, dude?" And it's so good. There's a mouth solo where she's like, "Me, me, 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 me."
Oh, it's
It's one of the best songs I've ever heard. I was like, oh,
great.
yeah, we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
And that she really got it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was like, and then someday if you perform this and he hears it, nobody knows who this is about except you and him, and he'll know. I was like, and there's something very satisfying about weaponizing your art. No, just kidding. I'm teaching them to bully. No, I'm not.
No.
Opposite.
No.
But it's really...
It sounds like you've gotten a lot out of teaching with these kids, and it sounds. I really like that point that you made about kids being able to just not overthink it and just to kind of have a real pure expression in their songwriting. I think that's something that we can all kind of walk away with, right?
Musically, whatever. I was raised and trained in the classical, read the music.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the theory, but not in a practical way. And when I joined Lindsay and we started Twin Peaks, I had to, what's a Nashville number? I have all this knowledge, but I don't know how to use it. So then I think year over year I've become a much more flexible, adaptive teacher as well, where it's and just the age we're in now, that we all have different brain chemistry. We learn in different ways. So if you want to stand up to play your ukulele because you can't stop moving your body, that's fine. Why would I be sit down? And then kids who whether it's dyslexia, whether it's attention deficit, whatever, if you don't want to read notes, it's actually not that valuable of a skill. Let's not do it.
You're not going to pull up to a rock show with your music stand and your book.
I have a 7-year-old boy right now who's he was I hate coming here, blah, blah, blah. He has perfect pitch.
Yeah.
He plays piano.
Yeah.
He's doesn't read the music. He kind of looks at it and then his ear just tells him how. He has no idea why he knows what he knows.
Yeah.
If we do ear training tests or whatever.
But what kind of self-trust is that, right? That's pretty cool.
So then his mom's I don't know, man. He really doesn't want to practice. And I was like, we're going to stop reading music.
Yeah.
And then I showed him a video of Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is 12-bar blues. Look at this. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba.
Yeah.
He was like, I can do that. I was like, oh my God. And then his mom texted me last week, a month later, and was like, okay, he's racing me to get out the door. He can't wait to see you. I'm like, oh. And because I know it's never me that they don't like. They like me.
Yeah.
But what are we doing here with your mom's money?
Yeah. And it's hard being a kid. So I think, you're really nailing it in the way that you're bringing yourself to that space and making it safe for them to find themselves and their voices. I love that. I'm thinking about people who are just starting out in the music industry. What advice would you give artists who are trying to carve their own path? How
carve it, figure it
carve
out.
it. Just carve it already.
Just make it up as you go, bud.
Yeah, I'm thinking about kids from rural areas that we come from. What's your advice for a person who's looking to get started in the music industry?
Oh, don't do it. No, just kidding. That's too bleak. I mean, I think it's you need to have realistic expectations, have those checklists of why do I feel the need to do this? We all had to go through COVID and be but do I just do this because I want people to smile at me and clap and give me compliments? What am I doing this for? But me figuring out oh, this is part of my process as a human being of living experience, writing about it, recording it, and then I have to play it for someone in real life to have it validated, and that's healthy and normal. It's not narcissistic, whatever.
No.
So I think being realistic I don't know, like, what an emerging artist right now, I can't imagine the overwhelm they must feel and stress about, like, what's the most important?
Yeah.
TikTok? Spotify? Does any of that translate to real life? But you can't apply for a grant or a festival without numbers and but what is, none of it's real, but all of it's real. Like, I don't, good luck. No, just kidding. I think, I think it's like being real about like what it is you need out of this. And then also being like, you're the only one who's going to have your back. And I, like, right now, I'm trying to only put myself in winning situations, you know?
Yeah.
But that there was so many years that I didn't.
Yeah.
That I was like, well, we can't have a Tuesday off. We should go play Saskatchewan. Oh, Forget, Saskatchewan.
I've played Forget as well.
I mean, that was a great night.
That
was a good show.
I had a really good time in Forget.
At the Nun, Happy Nun?
At the Happy Nun, yeah. You're the only other person I know that has played there.
We made a lot of jokes that they probably were very sick of. Like, I think you forgot to pave your roads. We're going to have an unforgettable evening. Like, we just, like, razzed them so hard. Anyways, I think knowing what you need out of your music career.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not a touring artist. Maybe you do want to just record and release songs one by one. Maybe you love TikTok and you're good at it. I mean, I love it, but can't invest anything there because who knows?
Yeah, I really like that advice, just really dialing in on why you're doing this thing before you embark.
And if you're like looking to be rich and famous, then you might as well just
good luck.
Go,
as you mentioned.
go to school or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. AI's coming for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So like thinking about good gigs, like for Jay, obviously, was a great gig. Do you have any like bucket list experiences as far as your music career goes? Like, is there anything, all things on the table, you could pick one? Any creative projects or tours or dream venues that come to mind?
Yeah, I love house concerts a lot. And probably the most. And I love, like, I've done a couple of those Home Roots tours. And they're awesome. And the whole structure of that organization is incredible.
Totally.
And the fact that they have hundreds of hosts doing this out of the kindness of their heart, bless them. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I look at somebody like Scott Cook, who has built his own family across multiple countries that will house and feed him and bring all their friends. And like, he's put in really, all of the effort.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And I've stayed at his house. He's the workaholic. He's like in his office doing naked yoga and then smashing those email lists. I don't know. But it's, like, I think the current dream is like to be able to play 30 to 50 people house concerts or small rooms. Yeah. Where everyone sheds a tear or has the laugh. Yeah. And I get to talk to each one of them after. And, like, that's it. That's all I need. But also, who's going to book it ahead of time? Who's going to do it? Only me. My booking agent's trash.
cut back to your advice for newcomers. You will have your own back.
Yeah, I do have to have my, and that's, and I lately have been having some real conversations with myself about that I probably could respect my craft a little more. I could probably have a little more reverence for, like, that doing things last minute and not being prepared and then beating myself up. Like, it's this very weird pooping on myself. Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy, like, and grow up. I'm a grown-up. Come on.
I think that's the hard part. At the very beginning of this interview, we're talking about how it doesn't feel great for a lot of us to write our own bios and really pump up our own tires. And I think that's because just naturally a lot of people tend to put themselves last on the list. And so when we're our own representation, when we're our own booking agent, our own promotion, it takes a lot of inner work and like a lot of discipline to be able to really prioritize that. I feel you big time.
And just like, and a job I can do for others.
Totally.
And you know?
Well, it's like,
Twin Peaks booking agent, I was great at it.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
we joked all the time about like, should I have like a different email? Should I use like a pretend name, a man's name,
Oh, totally,
first of all?
yeah.
Like, hi, this is Gord. I work for Twin Peaks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But the landscape of everything is so different now. Different bad. No, just kidding. I wouldn't know. I haven't been out there. But just, it seems crazy, even through Bruised Orange trying to produce shows and book touring artists. And the amount of money that used to get somebody to come to Fort St. John is not enough money anymore.
Yeah.
Not just because gas and eggs are expensive, but because they value what they're doing and actually, no.
Yeah.
like,
yeah, it's true, right?
even when I'm like, but you could sleep in my house and I'll make you breakfast and it'll be a fun time. Like,
Yeah. I think a lot of people are also catching on to, I think that's what COVID may have been good for, is that it kind of snapped the hamster wheel, as you said, and it made people take a step back and go, hey, this is what it feels like to be rested, and this is what it feels like to be well, or better than when I'm on tour breaking my back every night.
Yeah.
And I think that does kind of inform how people approach gigs these days. Like,
and I think
a
lot of us were like, when this is over, people are really going to show up for live music. And a lot of normie non-musicians were like, either like, oh my God, but we can't wait for concerts again. And maybe that's true and genuine and they did show up. But
it's a different
It
landscape
hasn't
for sure.
changed.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to take us to a sort of a rapid round of questions.
Oh, I'll try.
So get ready, get your guns ready.
Okay. I took my medication. I took the Adderall, so I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it. So first one, if your music had a flavor, what would it taste like?
Salt water is the first thing that came to mind because tears, but that's wah wah. I don't know what it tastes like. I mean, it would taste like nostalgia. It would taste like maybe like one of those like rocket popsicles.
Yeah, totally. That's actually the first
How
thing that
about
came
that?
to mind.
Cut
when you
that
said
first part.
nostalgia. Yeah, a rocket pop. I like it. Next one. What's a non-musical passion that fuels or inspires your creativity?
What isn't? I'm recently diagnosed with ADHD, and I have just the audacity, you know? Like, I could make that. It's been all sorts of things. It's been macrame, right? I mean, I'm back to embroidering, but also got my hands on some polymer clay, been making earrings.
Nice.
Who told her she could do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Awesome. So just a creator.
It's
all around.
crafty.
Yeah, I love that. Next question. Do you have any pre-show rituals or superstitions?
Oh, God. I mean, I feel like for a long time, my pre-show ritual was just being unprepared and frazzled, and I'm trying to change that. Not that I'm a New Year's resolution person, but my therapist, Michael.
Shout out to Michael.
Michael, co-writer of the album, No Money.
Yeah.
For
Ghostwriter.
him. No money for him. He was like, so before a show, like, because I'm telling him, like, I played this show. It was terrible. I wasn't prepared. I didn't practice.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like I'd never tuned a guitar before. And he was like, so do you ever just, like, be alone outside or just backstage? And, like, I was like, no. What am I, a hippie? No. And then it's, not just like if I write the set list hours before instead of like, Naomi, are you coming? I'm like, like, I'm very good about doing vocal warm-ups. I do vocal warm-ups always.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I'm very,
That's good.
and that's because I've felt the difference of like
Yeah.
not doing them. And then teaching vocals, it's like, I know it feels very different.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not a rapid fire answer. I'm trying to have
It's all
rituals,
good.
healthy rituals. Ugh.
Okay, well, I would say like it sounds like you make sure to warm up your vocals. That's
and
your
I
ritual.
do.
Yes.
Yeah. Lately,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trauma dumping on this audience. We see each other.
Yeah.
We are validating each other. This is a give and take. I'm not a narcissist.
Oh, good. It's solid, like
Just some
self-loving affirmations. That's always a good thing. If you had to describe your music using only 3 words, what would they be?
Relatable. I mean, that bio, it says I'm clever. I do think it's pretty clever. Pretty clever. Relatable, clever, catchy.
Boom. Love it. What is the weirdest venue you've ever played?
Probably Char's Landing in Port Alberni.
Okay.
Have you done this?
No.
Oh, you'd know.
Okay. We'll leave it to the viewer, to the listener, to go look it up. Char's Landing in Port Alberni. Well, that can bring us to our song break. We're going to
listen to a few tunes.
Now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to move into our song exploration part of the hour, where we check out a few recorded tunes from Naomi Shore. So let's start with the song Easy on Myself from the 2023 release Stability.
Can't always be so catastrophic, always talking myself off the ledge. God, I wish someone would change the topic, help me get out of my head. I gotta go easy on myself, I gotta admit I need some help. Gotta go easy on myself. My nerves are shot, these songs won't let me sleep. Maybe I need more therapy. I gotta put down my phone, try not to dive so deep. I'm my own worst enemy. I gotta go easy on myself, gotta admit I need some help. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta admit I need some help. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta admit I need some help. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta go easy on myself. Gotta admit I need some help. Gotta go easy on myself.
That was nice.
So nice.
Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about the recording process for this song and album?
Yeah. Both songs that we're going to listen to, and from that Stability album, as I said, that album was born out of COVID times. And, even though it was like during the later part of COVID and before we got back to festivals and stuff, I was very worried that, like, are we all going to show up at festivals and we've written the same song?
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's when has relatable, it's too relatable. Yeah, we know what you're talking about. Like, or am I going to be the only one that did this?
Yeah.
So not at all on either of those fronts. So yeah, the Easy on Myself was definitely one early COVID times. And like I 2020, I really didn't pick up an instrument. I did a lot of macrame and fiber art.
Yeah.
Because that's, so but I was still writing little
Yeah.
rhyming couplets in my journal just in case, listening to self-help podcasts and trying to get through. So Easy on Myself started as like a Post-it on the mirror.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta go easy on myself.
Nice.
And I got to admit that I need some help. You know?
Yeah.
And then it was one of those ones where I had all these little rhyming couplets and sticky notes of trying to inspire myself to brush my hair or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then when it came time to like, okay, it's going to be fine and I should make a record. And I think this song probably was written halfway through the others, and I remember approaching the verses with just like, let's not take it too seriously.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The chorus, I got to go easy on myself.
Yeah.
We all need help. That's,
Yeah.
a lot and relatable and sentimental. But the verses can be whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it comes pretty naturally to you to get into that vulnerable space when it comes to writing lyrics.
I think it's that thing of like the more I do it, the easier it is, the closer it is available.
Yeah.
And honestly, writing with kids and seeing I don't know. It's just, and why make it like this big thing and like overthink it?
Yeah.
It's not going to change the outcome. That's the other thing, like that the song, wherever it comes from, it probably is already what it is. Why am I trying to control it?
Yeah.
And,
Kind of honoring the muse. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with that, let's move on to the song Stability from the album of the same name.
Why can't I write any songs when I feel that I belong? I'd rather write about the loss, all my struggles and the cost. Stability, it's new to me. Stability,
I really love that song. I love the sweeping background vocals. I find they add a real emotionality that is so specific to the human voice. Like there's no instrument or patch or anything that can achieve that.
That's Corwin Fox.
Yeah, like
Man.
I was going to say, can you tell us about like how you approach song composition in the studio?
Yeah, the production of that song, and a reason. I mean, I'm making my third record with him because his own records and any project he's a part of, he's so good at this like spacey, calm.
Yeah.
It's not a trippy 60s organ. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, like the first time I was there, he like ran the Rhodes organ through the Blue Sky guitar pedal, and he was like actively riding the reverbs while I was playing, like, and it's just like he creates an ambiance
Yeah.
in music that is, I like, it soothes my nervous system. And then because he is such a great singer and has such a good ear for parts and harmonies, when it's just he and I in there and we get to do 18 layers of vocals, and he's just like, more is more.
Yeah, totally.
Let's record everything we can possibly hear in this progression with our oohs and ahs. He's like, and then when you're away and I'm mixing, I can always take it away.
Totally.
But I can't add it if we don't do it now.
Totally.
So we always go way too far.
Yeah.
And then we listen to just those isolated vocals and like lay on the floor and like, man, we're so good at this. But those are chunks like that, the backup vocals of Stability. It's a thing that's never happened in real life because I obviously don't tour with a choir.
Yeah, how nice would that be?
I can hardly leave my house. I can hardly organize myself, never mind a choir. Yeah. But it's like a thing, one of those things where it's like it happens in the studio and it's very nice to listen to. And just like, I'm always like, oh, can you isolate that and send it to me? And then I could have it as like a ringtone. Do people still do that? Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Stability, the lyrical process and the whole concept was like coming to grips with being in one place. And this is way before COVID. This was like 2018, 19, moving in with my partner who has a 2-year-old and like someone's expecting me to be stable, and can I do it? And is it a bad word? Like when you're surrounded in your echo chamber of beautiful artists, but who choose to struggle and live in a van, and is Stability, am I worth it? Yeah. Am I not going to be able to create anything if I am stable and held? And there's lots of lines in that song that I'd written as little pick-me-ups in a journal, just like one of them was, I don't know who I am or what I'm for. And like I find I'll write those phrases will like stick in my head, and then they're like reappearing over years in journals, in voice notes, and then finally there's somewhere that it can live. And then like just being so real with myself that like Stability is not, it's not outside of something I deserve.
You can still be an artist and be stable.
And now I joke about like when I play that song, you know, I'm like dedicating it to Marshall and Brian, my stepson and my partner, and that they have proven that like I can have a cat and living plants and an area rug and be a totally domesticated adult and still I can have it all.
I've got one more question for you.
Right.
What is something that's currently fueling your creative energy?
You know this. I've had this tiny punk rock dream in my heart for a long time. And when I was a traumatized youth, I did shave my head and steal cars. And
I love that. Very Britney Spears.
A lot of Misfits, a lot of NoFX, a lot of...
Yeah.
It was a tumultuous time. So yeah, I've always had an appreciation for punk rock and still do. And I think it's kind of a genre that's never... Well, maybe like the pop punk era of the early aughts was damaging. But if you know, real punk rock. So yeah, I've been, after getting all the religious trauma, talking through my feelings, blah, 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 I am feeling very inspired to play electric guitar, learn about distortion from 1 Brit AM, and then scream my feelings in a girls-only punk rock situation that might come to fruition, might not. Don't know. Who knows?
It's a little seedling right now, but I'm looking forward to watering it with you.
Maybe
if
by
that
the
doesn't
time
sound
this
too
comes
creepy and
out,
gross.
we'll be married. No, I don't.
So now I'm in a polycule.
So we have our ginger daddies on the road with us.
Sorry to inform you guys over the radio, but we're a polycule now.
I thought about it yesterday. I was like, oh, I got bangs. And then I was looking at Nathan's ginger beard and I was like, oh no. The four of us we're all the same.
I'm you.
Who's who?
I'm me. I want to thank you so much for being here and spending time in the studio with us for the Northern Static series on CFUR 88.7 FM. Stay tuned for an acoustic performance by Naomi Shore.
Thanks, bud.
I'm the one who goes back in to pull you out again and again. You and me will never win. One of us is getting singed. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. Make your bed. It's your turn to put it out or let it burn. Fill your lungs with the smoke. Tidy up till you choke. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good at goodbye. But I can make a bed. I can make a bed in a house on fire. I can make a bed. I can make a bed in a house on fire. I'm no good. I can make a bed. I can make a bed in a house on fire. I'm no good. I can make a bed. I can make a bed in a house on fire. I'm no good. I can make a bed. I can make a bed in a house on fire. You say you feel like I'm far away. That's because I am, and it's no mistake. I've stopped thinking you could change. There's no hope left, and you're to blame. If I had $1 for every time you didn't stay in your lane. If I had $1 for every time you tried to manipulate. If I had $1 for every time the guilt trap was laid. If I had $1, if I had $1, I'd have it made. I'd have it made. You walk around like you're some superstar. I'd love to know exactly who you think you are. You get so obsessed, it's kind of bizarre. Just give it up and lower the bar. 'Cause if I had $1 for every time you didn't stay in your lane. If I had $1 for every time you tried to manipulate. If I had $1 for every time the guilt trap was laid. If I had $1, if I had $1, I'd have it made. I'd have it made. The parts of you that I really hate are the parts of me I can't escape. I wanna get real, you can't relate. It's hard to be real when you're so fake. If I had $1 for every time you didn't stay in your lane. If I had $1 for every time you tried to manipulate. If I had $1 for every time the guilt trap was laid. If I had $1, if I had $1, I'd have it made. I'd have it made. And wouldn't it be great if you could stay in your lane? Just stay in your lane. 'Cause if I had $1, if I had $1.
I'd be rich. I can't unhear it.